are all set.
Thank you. I'd like to call to order this meeting of the Broome County Industrial Development Agency of January 22nd, 2025. I'd like to hand the mic over to Joe Mayor.
Good afternoon, all. It's time for us to take nominations for officers of the agency. Do we have? Pardon?
Do the oath first,
Are we gonna do the oath for everybody?
just all at once, all at one time.
Okay, and then we'll do the oath. Okay, all right. If you would all repeat after me. I
Peter Bucci,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of member of the Broome County Industrial Agency
of the office as a member of the Broome County Industrial Development Agency
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Thank you. Is everyone signed? Yep.
I think most everybody.
They'll be circulated.
They're in your folders, your oath and your acknowledgement of fiduciary duty.
And at this time, we'll take nominations for officers for the year 2025.
I wish to nominate John Bernardo as our chairman.
Second,
Do you want to take them all and then swear them all in?
Do them
Let's
all at once.
do them all.
Okay,
Okay. Do we have a nomination for vice chairman?
I'd like to nominate Jim Peduto for vice chair.
Second? Second. We have a nomination for secretary?
I'd like to nominate Richard Bucci for secretary.
Second.
And do we have a nomination for treasurer?
I would like to nominate Dan Crocker for treasurer.
Second. Second. All right, so we will swear all of the officers in together. And when we get to the point of the office of, if you would
You want to take a vote?
That's why I heard that
Let's
chair.
let's take a vote.
Okay.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
All right.
Are there any absentee ballots out or anything?
I just want to know the inaugural ball.
Let's do this once again. I
I
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of
I faithfully discharge the offices of secretary.
Vice chairman.
He's conducting it like it's
the Broome County Industrial Development Agency
of the Broome County Industrial Development Agency,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Joe.
Yours.
Appreciate that. Looking for a motion to approve the minutes of December 18th, 2024 board meeting. Thank you, Dan. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Peter. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Moving onward to our public comment session. Anybody wishing to speak on any matter concerning the IDA, please state your name and address for the record and limit your comments to 5 minutes if you will. Thank you. We'll close the public comment session. Executive Director's report. Stacy.
thank you all. Good afternoon. Just a few updates on some items we're working on here at the start of the year. So happy new year. A few things. So we, as you know, for the last 6 to 8 months of 2024, Amy and I were working on with a number of regional workforce development and economic development partners on the submission of a Southern Tier on-ramp workforce development application. This would be the creation of regional workforce training facility and subsidiaries, essentially, if we're awarded. If we're successful, we expect the announcement to come along with another series of announcements on competitive rounds of funding, probably at the end of the month is what we're being told. We do feel we've a lot of regional collaboration on this and put forth a strong application, so more to come on that. Last week I was in Half Moon Bay, California, attending the Semi-Industry Strategy Symposium as part of the team from New York Loves Nanotech. We had a lot of productive meetings with a number of companies in the semiconductor supply chain. Great opportunity just to start building those relationships as we continue to look at building out sites here in the county, especially the proposed tech park site. We are also working with Binghamton University and Universal Instruments and a number of other New York State partners on the development of a New York State packaging strategy. A key component to the ecosystem is test and packaging. We have a great asset here with the university and Universal. So we'll be hosting some folks on the 28th from New York Creates, Empire State Development, and the Governor's Office Go Semi of semiconductor development. So good. I think it's a good spot for us in that ecosystem, and hopefully we'll pan out with some good industry attraction opportunities. I will be presenting in the New York State Economic Development Conference in February. That's our state association. That's our annual winter conference, highlighting site development strategies, highlighting the work we've done at the regional level with the Newmark collaborative effort. And at the end of next week, I'll be hosting the new Senior Director of Site Development for Empire State Development. This is a new position established by ESD. Essentially, this role is to work with municipalities, towns, villages, IDAs, and others on just trying to move the process for getting more ready to go sites. So I think we're in a strong position with where we're at with a number of ours. I think it's helpful to have the ear to what's happening locally, have that ear to Empire State Development as we continue to pursue ultimately funding for the proposed tech park. So we'll be touring them around various sites here in the community, including Huron, the airport sites, as well as the proposed tech park site. Just an update on where we're at with the tech park. We are still in a very, I'd say, heavy study phase. So it's kind of a quiet phase publicly, but a lot happening behind the scenes. We have everything now. We have, I think, coming up next is visual impact analysis, water and sewer analysis. Everything is moving forward. All of the consultants are on site when needed, and we expect to have potentially the final draft or the draft final GEIS sometime in late March. So we'll be working on conducting a number of small group roundtables through the month of January and February, and then we'll launch a much more public presentation schedule. We're still working on closing on a number of the properties that we are in contract with. Joe's working on that. And again, just always want to plug, we do have a bi-monthly newsletter. You can sign up at broomtechpark.com. Natalie and Amy last week attended the groundbreaking for the Town and Country renovation, which I think was very well attended, and it's good to see that one moving forward. We have issued an RFP for survey work for 600 Main Street, working with the team of EDR, Ramble Engineering, and LaChase Construction. So we're moving that forward. And we expect to be closing with Old Dominion Freight Line in the next, month, you'd think? I know they're interested in closing soon. That is the purchase of the 20 acres in the Broome Corporate Park for a 32 to 35,000 distribution facility. We expect to host plan a groundbreaking sometime in spring. And then lastly, a staff update. Amy will be joining the Village of Endicott's Planning Committee for the Brownfield Opportunity Area Plan Development. Any questions? Yes, a little bit. And then just turning to internal financials, we ended the year, as you can see, very strong. I want to thank the team on making sure projects that many hit some complications along the way, but we had a great year, certainly above what was budgeted on our project income. We budgeted for a net operating income of $8,415. We ended the year at $1,575,811. So certainly a good year for project development. I also want to thank Audit and Finance Committee for their recommendations on looking at our investment portfolio. I think we've earned, as you can see, really strong income on our treasury accounts. So all in all, a good year.
That's a great recommendation.
Mhm.
Thank you, Stacy. Any questions for Stacy? Moving on to loan activity reports. Any questions for Natalie on the loan activity reports? I have a question. We're sitting on a pile of money,
Yes.
Steve in particular,
Mhm.
and EDF as well.
Mhm.
What kind of interest are we seeing out there?
Not too much. Dan and Dan both referred, couple businesses, so I've spoken to them. Excuse me. Meg and I've had several conversations. We're doing a lot of marketing. A lot of the outreach is really just targeting the loans. Because yes, we do a ton of money. We'd love to get it out there. So if you know of anyone or any recommendations, send them my way, please.
Would it help to send like a press release out, just to get it out there again?
Yeah, we can. I mean,
Sure.
Because sometimes the media, like when it comes to economic
Right.
development, they
Yeah.
really kind of,
Yeah, it's a good idea.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like if somebody might see it on TV or something.
Yes.
Would it help if we, not that they are enlightened, but maybe enlighten the banks as far as like doing.
Doing
Or send a press release to the-
cooperative
Yeah,
loans.
I mean, I
Yeah.
do
Send the
have
press release to the banks.
conversations with different, the commercial lenders.
Yeah.
But
And it's not, our regional, so Natalie chairs the loan committee for STREDAC, which is a regional loan committee. It's made up of all the 8 counties in the Southern Tier region, and I'm on the board of STREDAC. We're seeing the same lull. We're trying to put, and we can collaborate with STREDAC on loans as well. Just, I don't know what banks are saying. It's just still pretty slow.
Slower, but.
slower,
I mean, there's
but maybe-
expectation that it's picking up, so
Yeah.
maybe just as, if you've got a summary of those programs
yes, absolutely.
and send around. I mean, so for M&T, send it to me and I'll get it to the right
Right
people that
people.
are seeing most of the activity. I can help direct where you can send it for the other banks too.
That'd be
Appreciate
great.
that. Thank you.
And copy the board on it as well. It's kind of a refresher reminder.
Yeah, then we can hand it out.
Didn't send it to the chamber members too, Stacy.
Yeah, I think we do in some
Yeah, we can-
communication, but we can certainly,
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
good.
yeah.
But Stacy, I saw your update on
Mhm.
the outstanding projects, just on that, what is the status of that Crowley Lofts? Is that dead or is it?
It is, actually Natalie just had a conversation with Patrick Van Putty today. It is now at, I think, 16 months since approval, so typically at the 12-month point, we do a relook.
But are they doing it? I mean, are they saying they're?
Yes, project's continuing. He said it's moving very slow. We're still looking for the contractor and get some numbers, but he said demo is happening in there. He said it's hard in the winters because there's no heat, no water. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
the contractors can deal with that.
yeah. So we actually. His
I mean,
other partner
he's
is-
technically still committed to it.
He is, he said he is, yes. So his partner is out of the country. And he said within the next several weeks, we're gonna have a meeting because I said I really need.
Because we're gonna have to make
timeline.
a decision soon.
I mean, they're committed to moving forward, is what
They
he's
are.
saying.
They own the building, right?
They own the building.
I mean, they're vested.
Right.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, I mean, there's still hope for it. I mean, I think it's a great project. So I mean, I'd love to see it happen, so.
They just see a big gap.
And they were awarded significant dollars from the city.
Received a Restore grant from New York State, and I think it has ARPA dollars from the city as well.
So if they would be obligated to pay all that back, right? I would assume, or,
They haven't
They
used
haven't
it.
used
oh, they
it,
haven't used it, okay.
yeah.
If then they said the project.
We actually
did.
haven't closed,
And it's kind of first year's
Yeah.
reimbursement.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
All right, well, that's just good. It's good to know. So it's still flickering.
yeah.
Okay, all
Flickering, that's a.
Flickering is a.
right, good.
But we are monitoring it along with others
Yeah, I
very,
was just curious. on
very
that one.
closely. And just a quick update on that. We do expect, I think, in Q1 to close with the Raymond project. Natalie's working on that one. There's this delay. I think they have changed this point of contact with their internal team on this one. I expect, and I've been playing phone tag with Lane Development, but I expect we'll close on that sometime in spring. Still moving forward. My understanding is still moving forward well. Working on getting a lot of bid docs ready to go. I think they're planning to close in sometime in spring, so keep you posted on that one. And then we have a number of terminations that we're working on, some due to just pilot expired. Some are because of non-compliance, so working on those as well.
Thank you. You've all had a chance to look at the meeting schedule, and I think invitations went out, right? Relative to all the meetings. Thank you. Moving on to new business number 8, resolution authorizing a leaseback transaction to facilitate the financing of the acquisition, renovation, and equipping of a property and building located at 214 Main Street in the Village of Johnson City, Broome County, New York, to be used as a 2-story mixed-use building, and appointing Sun Development Team LLC, the company, agent of the agency for the purpose of acquiring, renovating, and equipping the project, and to provide for a sales and use tax exemption benefit in an amount not to exceed $20,000, to provide for a real property tax exemption in an amount not to exceed $122,616, including authorizing a payment in lieu of tax agreement deviating from the agency's uniform tax exemption policy, a copy of which is attached here to as Exhibit A, and authorizing the execution and delivery of certain documents with respect thereto. Mayor, this came out of governance.
It did. We move it forward as a motion to approve.
Thank you, Mayor. Is there a second?
Second it.
Thank you, Peter. Any discussion? Or questions? Let's have a vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried. Item number 9, resolution authorizing a sales and use tax exemption to be used for the acquisition and installation of a ZapX advanced robotic radiosurgical machine to be located at 1020 Vestal Parkway East in the town of Vestal, Broome County, New York. Appointing NSSGP LLC, the company agent of the agency, for the purpose of acquiring and equipping the project, and to provide for a sales and use tax exemption benefit in an amount not to exceed $148,000, and authorizing the execution and delivery of certain documents with respect thereto. Mayor.
Governance moves it forward as a motion to approve.
Thank you, Mayor. Is there a second? Thank you, Brad. Any discussion or questions on this item? Let's have a vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Carried. Item number 10, resolution authorizing the agency to purchase a subscription for Enviro Site Property Risk Map software from ADEX Solutions in the total amount not to exceed $5,000. Mayor,
Governance moves it forward as a motion to approve.
is there a second? Thank you, Elaine. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Question? Why are we voting on that? Doesn't it fall under a threshold?
I thought it did. I asked Natalie for clarification. I think because it's software, it's not,
Right. and
it's considered a,
It's $5,000 or more.
Got it.
Yeah, so if it was 5,00001 or.
right, professional
49,
services.
we wouldn't have to bring it.
For professional services, it's not different. It's not
Better
considered.
negotiate.
I know. So, yeah,
Looking for a motion to go into executive session to discuss personnel matters. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Jim. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.